Welcome to CarSceneKorea. I introduce newly released Genesis Hyundai and Kia cars. And as you just saw from my background, there's wrecked cars everywhere here in Seongsu. But I'm here today for the Genesis Studio, Wonder Studio. And I actually do have a full in-depth walk-around ASMR video on the channel, so feel free to check it out. But I'm here to meet the car in person again and give you the review because it is something that I did miss out. But I came here on the last day of this pop-up studio here in Seongsu. So by the time you're watching this video, unfortunately, this place will be gone. However, I assure you, this car will be everywhere in your local dealerships. So make sure you check it out because this very car is going to be the donor car for GV60 Magma, the first Magma series from Genesis brand to come. So make sure you check it out. And that is one of the biggest reasons why I actually came down here today and wanted to meet this car in person again and give you an in-depth review of the car. So let's get started. Be it the exterior, be it the interior, this car right here is my personal favorite, and it seems like it's not just me. A lot of people checking out the car, the public here today has been in love with this interior color, and there is no doubt about that, right? It's such a beautiful color. So let's go check it out. And if you have been to Korea before, you know what Seongsu is. It's loaded with people. There's a lot of amazing restaurants, places to check out, pop-up stores, not just Genesis, but you name it, just cosmetics, fashion, everything is here, and Genesis is no exception. So it's really difficult for me to capture the car alone because it's not just the media day here today, so please bear with me. A variety of age groups are actually checking this car out, and everybody, the moment they are stepping outside the car, everybody is absolutely in love with the interior. So let me zoom in on the MLA. This is now applied on all of the latest Genesis facelifted cars. MLA stands for Micro Lens Array. Literally speaking, it is what composes that headlight. If you see those cubing lights on Genesis, it is the MLA. And Genesis GV60 is actually the last car in the family to be facelifted. Beautiful color. I love all the colors that Genesis is just recently pumping out. So that pointy tip that Genesis GV60 had at the bottom is now gone. And this front bumper, not just the front bumper, but just come around. Beauty of having all the cars in front of me readily accessible, right? The rear bumper too is also redesigned. So facelift, after all, the design certainly has been changed. I will tell you about the details momentarily, but all this, the molds for these bumpers have to be renewed, and they have been, of course. And it's not just to update the looks of these two cars, but it is also for the functions and practicality as well. So this front bumper design helps with the airflow around the car. You know, you see the design is always personal preference, right? But I think when it comes to this facelift Genesis GV60, seems like everybody is in love with this design. On a side note, one thing I want to tell you is that this facelifted design doesn't really seem to stand out all that much on photos, nor videos, I should say. But if you come take a look at it, if you meet this car in person, you will see all the changes and upgrades, differences that have been made on this car. Not to mention about this guilloche pattern, the brand new emblem design of the Genesis that's been implemented on all of the latest emblems, and I kind of like this touch too. You know, the reason why this bar is sitting right here is because of the camera. In order to hide that circular camera in the middle, of course, there's lidars and other sensors around the car. There are 1, 2, there's got to be more. Yep, so 3 sensors on each side, meaning 6 sensors all around. And not just that, there is also this DSM, digital side mirror. I know that some of the markets do not get this yet. However, the tech is certainly coming, so stay tuned for that. So that is the work of DSM right there, just like so. Fold this DSM too, just like so. And when folded, it actually sticks out less than it used to on the first gen. Look at that gap between, it's really marginal. So it folds all the way like so. When you unfold the side mirrors right here, check that out. Yep, that's how we get it. And you see, I definitely have to zoom in on this wheels. I love the classic 5-spoke wheel design is still implemented. However, it is pretty much all covered up because that lowers the resistance around the car, which gets converted into lower CD, and that gets converted into high driving range, as well as less NVH, noise, vibration, and harshness. So this is the beauty about the facelift. Things that are not really directly visible to human eyes on the outside are actually implemented, upgraded here and there, which I'll walk you through one by one. But this wheel, no doubt, is one of them. There is that Genesis accent cue to it. Just looking at the wheel alone, I'm pretty sure I can tell that this is a Genesis wheel indeed. The caliper is the good old graphite color caliper, I guess. Specs for the wheels and tires are 255, 40, 21. And I bet it's a square setup, meaning it's the same size all around the four. And I have got to tell you about the suspension as well. There is now the upgraded reinforced hydro bushing on the front of the car all around the vehicle as well, which certainly is an upgrade from the pre-facelift model. So quickly show you the size of this one right here. Yep, it's right there, 255, 40, 21, meaning same size all around the four. So looking at the side profile of this Genesis GV60 facelift, I can feel that penetrating design language of Genesis brand. That is athletic elegance. So the word speaks for itself, but the car can perform and does perform. I actually checked that out on a pre-facelift too. The car also comes with hidden drift mode, and I also had a lot of fun spinning this car around, which I will include right now. Not just that, the MLA allows the dynamic welcome light as well, which is not just for the looks, but does help you escort during the nighttime and enhance safety, just like all the other welcome lights do. And due to the resources and constraints I have at the moment, I'm not going to be able to show you all the welcome ceremonies, but I'll do that on my long-term test drive video. And I'll certainly come up with the night POV drive. Although this 21-inch dark metallic glossy gray finish wheels are my personal favorite, the car also does offer 20-inch light silver wheels, so you can choose depending on your personal preference. The rear bumper is not just redesigned, but it is also color matched, therefore giving that more luxurious look throughout the overall feel of the car. So let's go check out this 2026 Genesis GV60 facelift and this blue interior for sure. I will include the precise name on the screen right now. 1, 2, 3. 3-spoke steering wheel, which means performance. This is the configuration we find on sports cars, if not race cars. Speaking of which, you can change your drive modes here. Beautiful one large integrated monitor. There is no split monitors in between. It is one whole 26-inch monitors. Some people do like this, and I do see a lot of comments saying that people prefer the good old 2 monitors on the left and right, one for the tachometer, the driver, and the infotainment screen. However, trust me, once you get used to this one, there is no going back. I mean, just look how Genesis nailed it. It comes with the augmented reality as well. I'll show you momentarily. But look at this map and navigation. It actually is the whole screen. I can actually see the glimpse of it here too. You see right there. So it is using the whole map on the background, but it is also displaying other menus for the right part and the left part for the navigation and the driver. And this is like the ultimate luxury, wouldn't you think? Let this design and color sink in. I am looking at the monitor, the screen right now, just like you are, and it is absolutely beautiful. I dare to say that they have overdone it on this Genesis GV60. And this vibrant color that Genesis boldly has used on this interior, I think this is a cue kind of foreshadowing what Genesis is thinking about when it comes to the GV60. And you guys know that Genesis GV60 will be the first car that will get the Magma treatment, meaning much more performance, much more fun, and much more aggressive, sporty feel and look when it comes to the car inside out, but most definitely the performance. So let's go back to this drive mode: Eco, Comfort, Sport, My Drive, and the car being all-wheel drive, dual motors on the front and rear. There is also Snow Drive. On the right is the Boost mode. And yep, the car has to be fired up and has to be rolling, but that will allow the car to use its full potential. and the car being an EV, this doesn't really take all that much of a time for it to cool down and to be reused again. Once again, I will test all of this out on my long-term test drive. So let's zoom in on the interior real quick. This thing always has been my personal favorite ever since the GV60 first came out. I mean, it is very intuitive and direct. You know, we all know what this is gonna do, right? Up and down and rotate it for the right side mirror, of course, just like that, right? Very intuitive. However, it can be so elegant like this. Very nicely put, and honestly, we don't really use this all that frequently, so it is in less ideal spot for you to operate during your drive, but these are the buttons that you use most, not that, right? And there are other self-explanatory buttons, the trunks and the brightness and the VDC off for those looking for a more sporty drive. You can probably tell that it looks a little different. You can actually rotate that around, uncover that. You can put your fragrances inside for that Genesis scent. A self-explanatory button and features, but it just looks beautiful and amazing, and it seems like other people want to check out the car too, so let me get out real quick. So Bang & Olufsen premium sound system and Genesis kick plate, just elegantly put together with the brakes and the accelerator. No more gas pedal, right? So self-explanatory C-type charging ports right there. One on the left is for the USB for connected Apple and Android Auto if you want the cabled connection, but the car does support wireless Android Auto as well as Apple CarPlay. And over there is the 12-volt outlet system. And I don't know, I can't even count them, but 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 probably, just multiple way of sitting configurations. And that one for the Ergo Motion seat. And yep, that's gotta be a must when it comes to luxury cars. You can have the thigh support as well as the lumbar and bolsters, just like so. Let's get inside the shotgun of this Genesis GV60 Facelift and let it sink in. So this color combination, the work that they have done, amazing. Like, trust me, please go check this car out if you have this car available nearby your dealership. But you see, this is the fragrance, the essence. If you currently own GV60 and you didn't know about that, probably now is a good time for you to check on this and replace it because you probably ran out. So the same thing, similar thing for the passenger seat. However, there is no Ergo Motion seat on the passenger seat. So there is also the drawer type glove box on the right, a very nice touch. And this HVAC related buttons, it's always been there, so we are used to seeing all this. Seems like the HVAC is currently on a display mode, so it's not working right now. And let me show you the augmented reality navigation. So watch on the tachometer on the left. There we go. So voila, haha. And the center console, it's not much different, if not precisely the same as the pre-facelift model. 2 cup holders, a little bit slightly in different sizes. So this one for the giant tumbler and this one for your regular cans, I guess. So this is uniquely Genesis GV60. We all know this is the sphere type. When you turn the car off, this will actually rotate and we'll only see the sphere in the middle. Rotate it left for reverse, slightly for neutral, and all the way right for drive. If you don't see this where you are, don't worry, it is Korea exclusive mostly. Korea doesn't necessarily have best parking lots in apartments and our housings, dwellings, so people actually need to park in front of other vehicle and put the car into neutral so people can actually push the car around so the other cars can get out free. If you are not getting it, it's just Korea thing, let's put it that way. Ventilated heated seats and heated steering wheel, all the other auto hold, the parking view cams, all of this. The car will also come with the RSPA2, so conditions are not met because the car is not fired up. But long press hold this button, you will get the RSPA2, meaning you can park and control the car remotely using the key fob alone. You can pull the car in and out, and the car will also park on its own just using the key fob, both outside of the vehicle and you inside the vehicle in the driver's seat as well, whichever you like. And I have a whole video of those, me doing it all blindfolded, so if you like to check that out, please do so. Other self-explanatory things, the charging pad in the middle, it is horizontal, would have been better if it was vertical, but there is physical constraints, right? Physical limits to it. So better than nothing though. The car provides crazy space in the middle as well. There is no center tunnel in the middle, meaning there is no hump. Therefore, you can utilize this space for the extra storage. But check this out. You see that? It is actually all open. So I don't know if you want to store any ski-like items, but you can certainly put your purses, any items inside. Just make sure you don't forget it though. So let me get inside the second row seat of this Genesis GV60 Facelift. So this is the DLO that I told you about earlier, that lightning V shape, and this is the quarter glass. Although very tiny, it makes a big difference. Let me show it to you. All right, so I'm in the second row seat of this Genesis GV60 Facelift, and although manual, there is the blind on the second row seat. Better than not having it for sure. The good old handle, as well as the LED lighting, the book lights for the second row seat as well. And also let's check that crazy wide panoramic sunroof. It kind of does give me that vision roof vibe of the Ioniq 5. Probably it's because I'm actually sitting much more closer to the sunroof, the car being the GV60, meaning it's smaller. It's the smallest car you can get from Genesis in terms of the SUVs, right? I actually do have this wide open space more to myself, much more closer compared to the other cars. So I kind of get the feeling that the panoramic sunroof is much more wider. So let me show it to you. I cannot open it, unfortunately. But you be the judge. You guys tell me. I'm sorry I'm repeating myself over and over again, but I can't help myself. Just look at this blue interior together with the blue sky we have here today. Just beautiful interior, the quilted seats, the Napa leather, the interior materials and fabrics. It is Genesis. It is the premium you can expect from such car. And the car being EGMP, there is the AC vents on the sides, and right here, heated seats for the second row seat too. And you can also lock and unlock the vehicle on the second row seat too, and cup holders, and like the circular designs everywhere you can find throughout this Genesis GV60, the door handle, the cup holder, but speakers, and that sphere, as well as other dials right there, commonly used and shared together with early Genesis right there, and even the HVAC related. You can see a lot of circles and ovals throughout the car. Although obvious, I have to show it to you all. There is no ski through, the cup holders in the middle when you do the armrest, and you can fold these seats as well, although not fully automated. So let's go to the trunk and quickly go over that. But before I do so, it's also uniquely Genesis GV60 thing too. You actually do have that split line running across the trunk compartment. You see that split line designed between the trunk, so there is extra visibility underneath the rear spoiler as well. The rear view that we got from the interior, and that is the spoiler, and that's extra glass that we saw from the inside as well. And you can see that has been changed and upgraded third brake light, and that is long horizontal third brake light we are seeing. So it's going to be very clearly visible. The turn signal, however, is still remaining underneath the vehicle, so that is going to light up, unlike Genesis has done with the facelifted Genesis GV70. Because Genesis GV70 facelift actually moved their turn signal from rear to integrate it together with the taillight on the rear. So probably Genesis is reserving for the next all-new change for that. And the rear here, you can see there's all sorts of cameras. There are actually 3 cameras. I can't show you which one is which, but I'm pretty sure. So one is for the onboard camera, that is the built-in cam 2.0. Another is for reverse cam, and another is for the lidars and sensors. No, I'll double check that on my long-term drive. So that has been relocated underneath, right? So just elegantly finished, beautifully wrapped around, and honestly speaking, there is nothing I can complain about. What do you think? Just nicely done. So let me show you the trunk. It's all hidden right there. You saw the blinkers underneath. Hopefully it will be a bit more higher next time. And there are trunk LED lights on the left and right side. Not something that all cars get, so certainly does help out during the nighttime. A little more storage underneath the trunk. Not something super big, but the more space there is, it's always the better, right? And the fire extinguisher, which became mandatory here in Korea. And this right here is the V2L, vehicle to load adapter, that you will include right there for you to use the electricity out of this gigantic battery car, right? We see the charging status here, as well as the lighting for your nighttime charging. And this comes in super handy. You probably know if you've been there before. So just like that, everything is circular. I don't know, I feel like showing you. Of course, it does come with the sensor, so it's going to open up again when it detects some obstacles like so. Your luggage shield, pull it out like so to protect your luggage inside the car. You can relocate it to the front so you can actually tilt the second row seat, get that more recline of this vehicle. And of course, you can take this off too to maximize trunk capacity as well, just like so. Let me just quickly show you with the second row seat folded right here. So the lever is located right there. You can fold the second row seat just like so, gets it locked real good like that. Check that out. That is all the space you get from the trunk. It is not fully flat. It does incline towards the top just a little bit. Given the car size being, that is outrageous space, wouldn't you say? Looking awesome just like so. So you can control the seat, the rear seat recline in multiple ways. You can lock the seat in multiple angles, as you can see. So this is the seat locked at the first angle. Oh, and actually this is the seat pushed back all the way, just like so. And I really do like the details like this. Look at that, the double lines on this airbag tag even. Double lines for Genesis. And let's check out the Frunk, but it's not gonna be all that big because the car is a dual motor. And we can definitely see that clamshell type bonnet here, which is connected all the way down to this very fender. It's not even the fender, it's the cladding. This part of the bonnet is actually a fender. Look at that. This is actually mechanically very difficult in order to produce, something that Genesis is very proud of for sure. And should be, right? So pop the frunk. There is tiny frunk in the front, like I told you, because the car being a dual motor, there's not that much of space, but there will be for the single motor Genesis GV60. Let me tell you some of the numbers real quick, which is important when it comes to all EVs. 2026 Genesis GV60 Facelift is equipped with 84 kilowatt hours, 4th generation battery, which allows the car to drive up to 481 kilometers per charge. And that is based on the Korean standards, which is known to be much more harsh than WLTP. So if you are familiar with the numbers from WLTPs, it will certainly be higher than 481 kilometers. Dolby Atmos, it gives that enriched and enhanced sound system that Genesis is very known for. I've tested out in a multiple of Genesis cars such as GV70, G90 and so forth. Their sound system is just pure blast. If you are a music person, you definitely want to check that out. That Dolby Atmos surround sound system is just nuts, insane. And the car comes with HOD, which stands for hands-on detection. It has been out there for some time now for Hyundai Motor Group, but it's now been implemented on this facelift model. The car is also available in 12 different exterior colors, which includes the new Tromso green color. I think I have it here, so I will show you momentarily. And 5 interior colors, together with 3 new dual tone themes. Like I have showed you with the new refreshed look of front and rear bumpers, it's not just for the looks, but Genesis also has increased aerodynamic improvements together with 3D full undercovers. Despite the larger battery pack and upgraded driving range, the facelift model still allows 350 kilowatt ultra-fast charging that allows the car to charge from 10 to 80% in just 18 minutes. And last but not least, the car also comes with Smart Regen Braking 3.0, which is different from the iPedal. It allows you to drive the vehicle with the accelerator only, and the car will also come to a complete stop, reading the traffic and understanding its surroundings
putting the car into a complete stop. And the first car to get that tech was Kia EV3 and now this GV60 as well. That is just beautiful piece of technology that I absolutely love when it comes to all latest EV cars. I will certainly definitely check that out on my test drive. Although not directly visible to our eyes, the car also comes with enhanced suspension that has the improved shock absorber valves, which boosts the ride stability as well as comfort. And GV60 is actually geared towards more of a sporty essence than elegance, because lower the number when it comes to Genesis, the more sportier it is, and higher the number, more luxurious it is. So this car being the lowest numbered Genesis SUV, this car is also responsible for being fun, and which this car is. And I could feel all of that drifting this car. And this is the Tromso green color, and I think I am getting quite a lot of flicker inside, but just enjoy this color. Let the color sink in just for a while. And this color is amazing as well. And this facelift Genesis GV60 also comes with quieter cabin thanks to the additional soundproofing materials and improved windshield sealing structure. So this is the beauty about the facelift cars. Things that go unnoticed are actually all inside out of the car, which now there is also new active sound design, which is known as E-ASD modes, which are Horizon and Heritage. And Heritage Black replicating a refined 6-cylinder engine tone. And I'll try to check that out too. And the performance all-wheel drive model, which comes with the boost mode, has the 360 kilowatt, i.e. 490 horsepower, together with 700 newton meters of torque that allows the car to reach 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 4 seconds. Let's go check out that active sound design. It's right here. Yes. So there is Horizon and Heritage Black. There is explanation right next to it too, provides a sporty engine sound for electric vehicles. So futuristic driving sound for Horizon and Heritage Black for that sporty engine sound, which replicates a refined 6-cylinder engine tone, Genesis says. So tied together with enhanced performance, there is also VGS, which stands for Virtual Gear Shift. Literally speaking, it allows the car to shift gears virtually. So it replicates the sensation of paddle shifters used on ICE internal combustion engine cars. A few people made fun of this when a manufacturer started doing this. However, other manufacturers are now following the path of this VGS. So if you did any spirited runs or put your performance EV on a track, you would appreciate and know how important the VGS is. I felt it all on Ioniq 5N, which is called an eShift as well as an Active Sound Plus. Well, anyhow, so that is now implemented on most of latest HMG cars, together with the Ioniq 9 as well. And last but not least, the car also does come with ELSD, which stands for Electronic Limited Slip Differential, allowing for optimized cornering and acceleration. And thanks to that, we can actually drift this car around and have fun behind the steering wheel. By the way, this DLO and quarter glass, it's actually all blocked. We don't get any extra visibility out that way. So these are the different color combinations you can get. That is for the headliners. That's standard, signature, design selection 1 and 2. And that is for the garnish. Feel free to pause the video and check out the color for yourself. And this is the interior color. And the exterior color. Alright, so that's it for today. Quickly going over the interior, exterior, and review of this 2026 Genesis GV60 Facelift. I will come up with more detailed videos on my long-term test drive, so don't forget to like and subscribe CarSceneKorea if you did, and I'll see you in the next video test driving this beautiful Genesis GV60.